Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got the Veeniix V11 Pro 3-axis gimbal, 4K video, GPS, brushless motor, camera drone. And by the way, this thing is also what they call a standard remote ID drone, so it has remote ID built right in, doesn't need a module or anything. I flew this just a few minutes ago for my first flight and had a great flight with it. So now in this video, I want to take it up again and I want to try out the intelligent flight modes. I know it's got waypoints on it, and I know it's got an orbit flight or a point of interest flight, whatever you want to call it. And then I know it also has a follow me function. So let's fire this guy up and let's try it out. Okay, I've got the drone on the pad all fired up, and you can see we're all ready to go here. This particular drone asks for a compass calibration each time. When you fire it up, the app, it automatically steps you through it. So that's very easy. Let's go ahead and start recording now. So what I don't know on some of these intelligent flight modes, if you can leave it recording while you're doing it, or if it starts recording automatically, but we'll find out as we get into it. Let's go ahead and take off here. Okay, in order to fire up the motors on this drone, you got to put both sticks down and in. That starts the motors, and then let's see if we can hit I'm going to see if the landing button will make it take off, and it doesn't. We can hit takeoff on the app, I know that, so we're going to do that. Maybe. There we go. We got to hit the slider and then click takeoff, and there the drone is up in the air. So yeah, it kind of did a little bit of a drop there, but not too bad. Let's spin it around here, look at us, and like I always do, we're going to do a little bit of a droney. So let me see if I can drop the camera down just a little. Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, I just always overdo it with that camera adjustment on this guy. But reversing up now, well, you know what, I'm going to put it in high speed mode first. Hitting that speed button, we got 3 beeps, so that's high speed. Reversing up, reverse and up. And that, I did a droney earlier in normal mode. This is much more satisfying in the high speed mode. So, so there's a droney. Okay, very cool. Let's just stop right there and let's quit messing around. Let's see if we can get it to do some of the intelligent flight modes. So I'm clicking on that button. Oh, look, we got a lot of choices here. We've got image follow, GPS follow, and point of interest. VR is for VR glasses. Lens angle, I guess, is just for manually moving the lens. If you look on the bottom row, it has gesture photo and gesture record. That stuff, I don't know why you want to mess with that. You could, I suppose. It's not anything I know I want to do with the drone, so we're not going to look at that. The ones we're going to look at are those follow ones, the interest point, which is the orbit, and then the route rules. That is the Waypoint mission. So so you can see where I'm at. It shows us where the drone is at. I'm going to make the picture a little bit bigger here, and let's see. It didn't really give exact instructions on this. But I am just going to touch a spot on the screen and see if that gives us a, yeah, it does give us a waypoint. So we're going to go to the corners. We're going to go to 4 corners of the park. And then we'll bring it back to the center right in front of us here. And if there's a way to do a point of interest, I'm not sure what that is. However, I see the go button down there. We're going to click that go button, and it should start the drone on its way. So let's click go, and yeah, confirm waypoint flight. And I assume that it's going to, yeah, we see the drone heading for its first waypoint, and I am watching the drone head that way. And it appears to be, it's staying at its current height. So if there's a way to, we'll look at that again here in a second. If there's a way to adjust the altitude for each waypoint, etc., we'll have to see if that's even possible. And again, I don't see any point of interest function on here. Doesn't mean it's not there, but I don't see it. So now it's hit that first waypoint. It should turn around here and head for number 2. And it's kind of pausing there. Now it's turning. And it's heading for that second waypoint. Just absolutely flawless, doing it perfectly. And I've got the screen recording up here too. You can see it's just going right down the line. And then of course you're seeing the big picture on the video. You can switch to if you're looking at your screen recording, if I touch the bottom left there, then I see what the drone is doing. And then you see the map now in the bottom left, and I can just touch that and bring it back. And of course you got to adjust your, I'm going to zoom out a little bit and get a more wide angle view. We're almost to that second waypoint. It'll do a 90-degree turn to its right. We're kind of hitting all 4 corners of the park here. You know what? For some reason, all those waypoints disappeared and it just stopped. So I don't know what that's about. So okay, we're gonna try this all over again. I don't know why that happened. Let's try that again. We're gonna go back into that. That was a disturbance in the force. Don't know what that was. Let's go back to route rules. And we got it again here. So let's try it one more time. We'll do a much smaller one this time. I'm gonna hit 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And I'm going to try something here before we send it. I am going to click on that point. Yeah, I clicked on that point of interest to see if there was something I could adjust there, and I can't. And then there's also, if you look on the top, that little layers thing, that's how you look at the map. The little bullseye there will that will focus in, make the drone the center, I believe. In fact, let's touch it and see. Oh, okay, so yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll have to look at that and see what that that probably changes the way the drone points. And what is the minus here? Let's click on that. Oh yeah, that just made those the waypoints disappear. So okay, so I added the waypoints in again there, and let's click on that. It looks like a little lock or an Android or something. I can't tell exactly what it is. Right next to the bullseye. Yeah, that's how it changes. That just changes the aspect of the map. Okay, so we're going to click go again, and let's see if it'll get clear through it this time. So it should head to its first waypoint. This is much smaller. I don't know what happened on that last waypoint, but all of a sudden all of our waypoints just disappeared. It got to that second waypoint, and everything disappeared, and it just came to a stop. So I'm not gonna try and switch back and forth between camera view and map view here. Let's just see what it does. So it's at its first waypoint, and now it's heading to the second. And there it is. It's fun watching that drone fly through the air. So I'm just going to chalk that first one up to some kind of anomaly. I don't quite know what. But I'm going to watch the drone as it gets to the second waypoint here, and it's there. And is it turning? Yeah, now it turns, and it's heading for the third waypoint. So yeah, seems to work quite well. Yeah, it was weird. Everything we had on the map just disappeared there all of a sudden, and I'm not sure what that was about. And watching the drone, I'm looking right into the sun, but it's almost at that third waypoint. And then it'll turn around and come right in front of us here. It's starting its turn. And so, okay, almost there. Got the sun at its back now, so the video should look good. So I want to see what happens when it gets to that 4th waypoint. Let's just see what happens with the app, etc. So it looks like, yeah, it just stopped. Okay, that's perfect. So then you could do another mission if you wanted to, but we don't want to. We're going to go back to the camera view, and I'm going to go back. Whoop, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. I'm clicking, I'm trying to get the, yeah, I was trying to get the radar map there instead of the regular map. Okay, so we're going to click on that, what looks like stacked boxes or something there. And let's, well, we need to bring the drone back is what we need to do first. So let's drop some altitude. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And we'll try some of those follow functions. I messed around there a long time with the waypoints, so pardon me on that one. Turn the drone around here, get it facing us, and bring it on back. Remember, we have it in high speed here, which I like flying in high speed. In fact, I'm going to say 90% of what you're going to do with this drone, you're going to fly it in high speed. So see if we can drop that camera down just a little. That's good enough. I'm going to click on image follow. Human body frame. Okay, so let's try that. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So I drew a box around myself. Oh, and it stopped recording, so I'm going to start recording again. And I don't know if this is just a cameraman mode or will the drone actually move. I'm going to step backwards. Yeah, so the drone is not moving. So this is what this is a cameraman mode. So you could set the drone up if you're doing a vlog or something like that, and it's going to follow you around, and it's doing a good job. It's not losing me at all. Now if you want to do actual tracking, that's going to be the next one. So let's see. How do we stop that? Let's go back. Yeah, we just click on that little icon again on the left side of the screen. And we're going to click on image follow, stop that. So we stopped that. So let's click on that again, that stacked boxes, and we're going to do GPS follow. Now this will actually follow me around. So it's going to lock in, and let me see if I can drop the camera down so you can see me. And I'm going to, let's see, I wonder if I can, yeah, so well, I was going to say, trying to get center of frame there, but, well, anyway, the drone should follow me. And it is. Now the problem with GPS follow is that, as you can see here, I'm not in center of frame. So let me see if I can move it around here. Yeah, and so my controls are not working. And while it'll follow you, well, let me, you know, like I said, let me pick the camera up just a little. Okay, that gets me in the frame again. But that's something you're going to have to adjust manually. And I know a lot of people like, I guess the best of both worlds is when it's a combination of GPS follow and image follow. But let's see if we can push the drone backwards. I'm walking underneath it, and no, I cannot. The drone, well, now it did. Yeah, now it started backing up. Okay, it took it a second. I'm walking straight towards the drone, and it is backing up now. So again, but as you can see, I'm not in the frame. So so there's that, but it does work. I'm walking back over to the action camera here, and let's see if we can. Let's see if I can, yeah, see if I can adjust it towards me, and I can't. Let me see if I can pick the camera up a little. Yeah, it just doesn't have me. So I'm going to click on that again. We're going to get out of there. Okay, so we're done with GPS follow. Let me fly the drone back in front of us. And the point of interest or orbit, my understanding is that you fly it, we'll see if I'm right here, you fly it over the top of the center. So I've got the drone right over the, not quite, but kind of over the top of us here. I'm going to go a little bit higher. Yeah, we can go a little higher still. And then I'm going to go back into there and I'm going to click point of interest. And yeah, there we can set the radius. So let's set a pretty good radius here. And I'm going to push the drone up higher because I want to make sure I clear all these soccer nets and everything. So let's crank it up to 20 meters. So I like that it has, so there's 20 meters, and let's slide. And it should back up, maybe. Yeah, it is not backing up. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, there, it's flying out. Okay, I was wrong. It just turned around to fly out, and it should turn around here again, and it is. Perfect. Okay, it's doing exactly what I thought. And it should start its orbit. Let me drop the camera down so you can see where I'm at here. And it is, yeah, it's orbiting, but I'm sure not saying I'm definitely not the point of interest. So if there was something I needed to do to set the point of interest, in fact, it's just kind of going sideways. I'm going to pick the camera up so you can see it. It really is, it's not really doing an orbit. It's kind of going sideways. So I don't know what we did wrong there. But it's taken quite a trip. Okay, let's cancel that. Let's try that one more time. So I canceled it. I don't know what that was about, because it sure didn't, it didn't really even do an orbit. It just started flying sideways. So I'm bringing it down here. And it seemed like it raised in altitude too. Bringing it down. Okay, I'm not going to worry about making myself the center of the point of interest. I'm just going to start it. Let's see. I've kind of got it vaguely over one of the nets here. So let's try that one more time. We're going to click on that. We're going to click on interest point. I'm going to do a much smaller orbit. 5 meters. So we're going to do the minimum orbit. I'm going to start it. And it's rising in altitude. So it must have a minimum altitude that it flies up to. And that appears to be about 50 feet. And then it's moving out. I think that's what it said in the manual too, 50 feet. And then it's turning around. And it should start an orbit. But again, it's just flying sideways. So, Veeniix, you're going to have to do some work on that one. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to stop that. Maybe. Okay, clicked on it to stop. Okay, let's do a return to home and bring this guy in. Those are the 3 intelligent flight modes. I think we did okay. Let's bring it back. Let's see how high it's going to go here for return to home. About 30 meters high, about 100 feet high. And it's coming right down. Signal is weak, so it's right above me is why that happened. And it's adjusting itself. Let me see if I can drop the camera down and we'll see where it's going to land. Again, this thing does not promise precision landing, so it's not going to be precise I am just gonna let it land. It's not gonna hurt it. The grass is relatively short here. So now, yeah, now you can see it on the screen. It's probably 5 feet off of the landing pad and into the grass. And will the motors shut off? Yes, they will. Okay, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Okay, real quick conclusion here. I'm about to run out of battery on my action camera, the Veeniix V11 Pro. Tried out the intelligent flight modes. I thought we did okay with the tracking functions on it, although we showed some of the shortcomings of both of those. And then the Waypoint mission worked fine. I don't know why it quit halfway through that one, the first one we did. No clue, but it did the second one just fine. That was perfect. But then the point of interest orbit mode, the drone just started flying sideways. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Seems like there probably is a little bit more to work on that one. However, overall, this drone does quite well. And I haven't seen the video quality yet, but you guys have. So yeah, I'm sure it's probably pretty good because everything else about the drone is pretty good. Yeah, the price on this guy, with all the discounts all in that I could find, takes it down to $389. That could change, and if they give me any other discount codes, I'll put them in the description below. But yeah, that's about it. The Veeniix V11 Pro, I like this drone. It's a good one. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we will see you on the next one, the Veeniix V11 Pro.